Millionaires. Okay. Oh, here we go. Good evening, millionaires. Good evening, millionaires. You know, I always have these in my ears because, like, I'll be on the phone and stuff like that. Um, so good evening, millionaires. Welcome to yet another edition, right, of Good Evening Millionaire. If this is your first time joining us, my name is Alma Nancy. Okay, I go by Alma the CPA because I am a licensed, registered, certified public accountant from the lovely Windy City, Chicago, Illinois, born and raised. Okay, so I'm also every single weekday we do what we call Good Evening Millionaire, right, where it's all about financial education. It's all about financial literacy. I do believe each one teach one, change the world. Okay, it's not important to me like how you make a living, how you make your money. It's just important to me what you do with it, and that is your life. Hey Chris, good evening, millionaire. Good evening, millionaires. Welcome. Please make sure that you share the broadcast. And this thing is so weird. Sometimes I can see the comments, sometimes I can't. So I see my sis. Hey, Miss Connie. Welcome, millionaire. So do me a favor. Put in the comments, good evening, millionaire. And let us know where you are calling in from. It's always lovely to be in contact with our millionaire-minded family. All throughout the nation, right? Okay, I see we got Jennifer. Good evening, millionaire. We got Frederick, Marquita, Tony, Keenan. Okay, good evening, millionaires. Good evening, millionaires. So I know a lot of you, right? But everybody else doesn't. So go ahead, put in the comments, good evening, millionaires, and let us know where you are calling in from. Just say good evening, millionaire, from the Windy City, right? Or wherever you're calling in from. George, good evening, millionaire. Good evening, millionaire. So, and make sure that you share the broadcast. Sometimes you may know the information that we'll discuss, but somebody on your timeline may not. So you always want to make sure that you share it, not only on your personal page, millionaires, but you also want to make sure that you share it in the groups that you are in. Kimberly, LJ, good evening, millionaires. So make sure everybody turn on your notifications. Make sure that you turn on your notifications so that you are notified, right, when we do go live. And, you know, make sure that you support and share the broadcast. So if this is your first time joining us, what is she talking about? Millionaire. RL, good evening, millionaire. Good evening, millionaire. Hey, from Chicago. Omalara, I hope I pronounced it right. Good evening, millionaire. Kevin from 3117 is in the building. Antoinette, good evening, millionaires. So we always greet each other by millionaires because everything happens 3 times, right? The first time it happens in your mind. That's why we always say millionaire minded. Okay, it's really a part of a whole movement that we got going on. You can actually check out our website at wearemillionaireminded.com. If somebody could put that in the comments for me, that would be awesome. Hey, RL, good to see you joining us. So, millionaire minded, right? It's all about your mindset. So everything happens in your mind first. The second time is on paper. You want to write it down and make it plain, right? Write down everything. I cannot tell you guys how many notes and notepads and notebooks and stuff like that I have. You want to write down everything and make it plain, especially when it comes to all your goals, dreams, and ambitions and all that good stuff, right? And then the third time is in execution. So I'm personally in my execution phase. So good evening, millionaires. Make sure you share the broadcast, turn on your notifications. Join Dear Millionaire, right? You can text the number. So if one of my millionaire-minded family could put in the comments, hey, thank you, Connie. Yes, that is the website. If somebody could put in the comments how they can join us on Dear Millionaire, the world's first free text message service on personal growth and self-development. We send out all types of cool tips and tricks about success, right? And reminders for different calls and broadcasts that we have. It's all about entrepreneurial support, regardless of what type of business that you're in, right? In hopes that you get further and faster and with less effort. So good evening, millionaire. Good evening, millionaire. So tonight, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Tonight, what I'm talking about is how to stop living paycheck to paycheck. How to stop. I wrote all my notes in no heading. That's so funny. How to stop living paycheck to paycheck. So listen, millionaires, a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. America is filled of high paid, poor people. Hey, Scrunchy! Scrunchy! Love you. That's La. Hey, girl. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so because I'm gonna break out in a whole song. I can't even look at the comments because it distracts me because I want to say hey and talk to everybody. Okay, so tonight, let me move the comments out a little bit. I'm gonna just hide them a little bit. Okay, thank you, millionaires. Okay, so we're talking about how to stop living paycheck to paycheck. Most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, right? Which is really unfortunate, but that's okay. Don't fret, my pets, because I am here to help, right? I'm Alma the CPA. So even though over the past few years, like we've had a very productive middle class, everybody is getting to work and stuff like that, right? But the problem is that wages have not kept up with inflation. And that's one of the things that I always talk about. It's very difficult for wages to keep up with inflation because, you know, they just won't. Okay, that's how society is kind of set up. So your wages really won't keep up with your inflation. And so it makes it very difficult because what happens is you're making, you know, maybe my camera, you're making this much more money, but everything is costing this much, right? So your money goes up like this and then everything else goes up like this. Money, everything else. Money, everything else, right? So it's very difficult for you to keep up, and not just you, me, everybody else, right? That's just how America is set up because we are in a capitalistic society where the society is really run by business owners, okay? And so it's hard for us to keep up. The recession has been over for, you know, a very long time, right? Like, and if you think about it, we aren't in any better place. Like for a minute, you would say like, oh, it's the recession, you know, oh, it's the recession and stuff like that. But it's like the recession is over and now what? We're all still in the same situation. Why? Because America is filled of high-paid, poor people, okay? Millionaires. So this is what I want to go over just to help you guys be able to get back on track and stop living from paycheck to paycheck, if that's you, okay? If that's you. If it's not you, then just share the broadcast, right? We always appreciate the shares. Each one teach one. We can change the world. Somebody put this in the comments for me, please. Some statistics real quick. Hey, millionaire Kiera. Okay. More than 25 millionaires, more than 25 million, not 25 millionaires. More than 25 million middle-class Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So 25 million Americans are living from paycheck to paycheck. And 66% of Americans are living from hand to mouth, which is the same thing as paycheck to paycheck, right? Which means that, you know, by the time you get your money coming in, you already have it accounted for. You already know how you have to spend it. And if you don't spend it like that, it's a problem. You don't have much leeway to say like, oh, okay, well, this time I'm going to go out, or this time I'm going to do this. Or even if you go out, maybe you only have enough money to go out like one time, right? And then everything else is accounted for. Okay, so that's what I mean by paycheck to paycheck. Also, this is not like an actual statistic, but just know that most Americans are, when you are living paycheck to paycheck, you're like one check away from all out catastrophe. Because if something happens, then, thank you, Scrunchy. If something happens, then you know, one thing happens, now you have to take that money to take care of this situation. Now you have this money coming in, where you thought you were going to be able to take care of your normal stuff, but now you can't, right? And so it ends up being a vicious cycle to where it spirals out of control. And that's how a lot of people end up homeless. If you talk to any homeless person, I won't say any, but if you talk to a homeless person, go to a homeless shelter. I feed people at the homeless shelters. I go and volunteer and stuff like that. Sometimes I even go and pass out food just for homeless people on the street, and just talk to them. When you talk to them, you'll see that, you know, everybody wasn't like in a gang or, you know, didn't do the right thing. A lot of homeless people were just one paycheck away, you know, where everything just spiraled out of control. So talk to homeless people and just see, like, don't be mean, okay? Now, some of them, yes, are just out there. Some of them are fake homeless. Some of them not even homeless, but that's not the point. Talk to them and you can see millionaires. So we're going to go through real quick. What I got? 4 ways. 4 ways for you to stop living paycheck to paycheck. Now, I'm always going to reference other videos that I have done, so you guys got to check me out. I'm the CPA. So number 1, give me a number 1 and a share millionaire. So what I mean is put a number 1 in the comments and share the broadcast. So put a number 1 in the comments, share the broadcast. Hey, Shamika, and hey, Tia. Love y'all both. Okay. So number 1 in the comments and share it. So the first thing that you want to do to stop living from paycheck to paycheck is you want to identify and cut the waste from your budget. So you can scroll back through, I think last week, scroll through all my videos, and I'm going to update my whole Facebook page, Facebook and YouTube, right? And then I'm coming out, putting more stuff on my I'm the CPA fan page, so go like that too. But if you go through and identify and cut out the waste from your budget. So I do have a detailed step-by-step of how you can identify your latte factor. Okay, so that's a video in itself. But scroll back through if you like, just for this one step, if this is you and you don't know how to identify and cut the waste from your budget, you want to go check out my video on figuring out your latte factor. Just know that most Americans waste anywhere from 10 to 15% of their monthly income, which is like $350 a month. That's a lot of money. Think about what you could do with an extra $350. So you have to identify where you are wasting your money. Now with me, I always tell people that my latte factor was an actual latte. Okay, I love coffee. I love Starbucks, right? Sometimes I drink it 2 and 3 times a day. I definitely have like at least 2 cups in the morning. You know, sometimes in the evening I'll have another cup. Maybe it's a tea. Maybe it's not, right? Maybe it's a cookie. Who knows? But it's just Starbucks, period, right? So I had to kind of reel that in and just figure out what it is that I'm doing, that where all my money is going. And for me, it was Starbucks. So I had to cut back dramatically, right? So you want to go through your budget, identify and cut waste from your budget. We all have it. And just a sidebar, your latte factor is something that in itself doesn't seem like a lot of money, but the frequency in which you indulge makes it a lot of money. So that's why, you know, maybe $2, $3, $4 for a cup of coffee is not a lot of money. But if you're going 2 and 3 times a day and 5 or 6 days a week, right? You do the math, millionaires, it comes out to be way more money than what you think. So think about what it is for you. Some people, it may be like a specific type of pop, right? I'm from Chicago, so some people, you know, we say pop. Y'all may say soda. I don't know, right? But that's what I'm talking about, soda pop, right? It may be something, maybe that's it with you. Maybe it's candy, you know, maybe it's a Snickers or M&M, something like that. But just think about what's your latte factor and then multiply that thing out and see if that's your latte factor. You may have more than one, okay? And so you want to figure out what that is. So that is number 1, identify and cut waste from your budget. Good evening, millionaires. If you're just joining us, please make sure that you go back to the beginning of the broadcast. Turn on your notifications and share the broadcast not only on your personal page, but also in any groups that you are in as well. Number two, put a number 2 in the comments. Put a number 2 in the comments for me and share the broadcast. So put a number 2 in the comments and share and give me a share, right? So number 2 is you want to put your wasted money to work. So after you have identified this latte factor, you've identified where you're wasting money excessively. Now you want to see what you can do with that money. So you may want to start your emergency fund, because like how we said at the beginning of the broadcast with homeless people, right? You're like one thing away before you spiral out of control. So make sure you go back and put that money to use, because if you can start your emergency fund, establish your emergency fund, then maybe now you have your emergency fund. So when an emergency arises, you don't have to go into your regular money. Now you can kind of manage a little bit better. The goal, millionaires, the goal is to not pay this month's money with this month's bills. Okay, if you want to start out with getting at least like 1 paycheck ahead, then you can get 2 paychecks ahead, then you get 3 paychecks ahead, etc., etc. But that's the goal, so you won't be so tight. And that's in addition to having your emergency fund, right? Your mini emergency and your full-time emergency fund. Okay, and I have videos on all that stuff too, but your mini emergency, you want it to be anywhere from $2,500 to $3,000 in case, you need new tires. I always say that because tires are so expensive, but like you need new tires, the heat goes out, you need a boiler, etc., whatever it is. So that's where you need that emergency fund. Okay, or you can use, after you figure out number 1 for you, you can use that money to get out of debt. Believe it or not, when you get out of debt, now that's like one less thing that you have to pay for, and not even to mention how the interest is a waste. Okay, so think about that. So that's the goal as well. So that's number 2. Put your wasted money, put your latte factor money to use. Okay, millionaire. Okay, give me a number 3 and a share. Give me a number 3 and a share. Good evening, millionaires. So put a number 3 in the comments and share the broadcast. If you're just joining us, make sure you turn on your notifications. You join Dear Millionaire and you share the broadcast. Good evening, millionaires. So number 3, you want to diversify your income. Now, a lot of times people mess this up. Okay, because people think like, they got to go out and they got to have all this other crazy stuff and they got to do this and do that. And that's not the case. You want to come up with something, millionaires, right? And definitely if you want to run anything past me, just shoot me an inbox. We can talk and stuff like that. But you don't want to be relying on one source of income when you're and it's not, make sure that it's actually income. If you have like some more income where it's like kind of trickling in and stuff like that, it's like that's cool to start. But you want to really get that thing going where you have some money that you can actually rely on in the event that anything ever happens. Okay, so you want to diversify your income. You want to see, and I don't mean like 2 jobs, okay, because that defeats the purpose. But you want to come up with different streams of income where you don't have to rely on one single source of income. Okay, and some of you guys know, like, I have like a few different businesses, so if you ever need any ideas and stuff like that, want to bounce something off of me, definitely feel free to reach out and I will give you my unbiased opinion. Okay, my unbiased opinion. Remember, I am a CPA, which means I'm certified to help the public when it comes to all financial and accounting needs, okay? So, number 4, last and definitely not least, give me a number 4 and a share. Give me a number 4 and a share. If you're just joining us, we're going over how to stop living from paycheck to paycheck. Make sure that you guys go back to the beginning of the broadcast and participate in the broadcast. So give me a number 4 and a share. So put a number 4 in the comments and share the broadcast. Put a number 4 in the comments and share the broadcast. Good evening, millionaires. Good evening, millionaires. Number 4 and last and definitely not least is you want to reevaluate your cash flow. Okay, now this actually goes back to figuring out the waste that you have in your income and stuff like that. A lot of times people think that they have an income problem, right? And they'll go out and they get another job and stuff like that. But really, it's just a cash flow problem. So when you get good at actually managing your cash flow, you can see and just like I said, manage everything that much better. You can see where everything is going, and you just want to be able to manage your cash flow. So think about it like this: if you make $50,000, but your expenses are $25,000 for the year, right? You make $50,000, your expenses are $25,000 for 1 year. Then you can live for 2 years, right? Before you have to do anything. You live 2 years, you are comfortable, you are like, I am good, right? That's managing your cash flow. Now, if I, on the other hand, make $100,000, but my expenses are $200,000, then what that means is that I can only live 6 months comfortably, right? Because by month 6, I am like, oh my God, I need some more money because I got $100,000 worth of expenses coming in, right? So that's what cash flow is, and that's what I always mean when I say managing your cash flow. So if you want to learn how to manage your cash flow better, you can go to immathecpa.com. Go to immathecpa.com. It's a 3-part video series on there that is completely free, right? 3-part video series, but it's all about increasing your cash flow, and it takes you through step by step. The videos are, like I said, it's 3 parts, and they are slightly longer than the ones that I post on Facebook, but it's definitely worth it, right? It's only 3. And when I say slightly longer, I mean maybe like 5 minutes more. But if you want to learn how to increase your cash flow, then that's definitely where you want to go. Just keep it in line like with the whole stop living from paycheck to paycheck thing, because like I said, you know, the middle class is disappearing. Okay, 25 million Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And it eventually is going to be the rich and it's going to be the poor. The middle class is going to be completely wiped out. Why? Because, like I said, inflation is not keeping up with or your wages are not keeping up with inflation. So you want to get ahead of this thing right now while you still can. I hope that these steps are helpful for everybody out there. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We do this 5 days out the week. What am I talking about tomorrow? Let's see, because I don't remember. Oh, the new W-4. So we got a new W-4 that came out after after Trump did all his stuff with the taxes and blah blah blah. So now we have to adjust our W-4s on our job to make sure that they are taking out the right amount of taxes, right? We don't want to pay too much. We don't want to pay too little. So tomorrow, that's where we're going through the review of the brand new W-4. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Each one teach one, change the world. Hope that this helped anybody, help you get further and faster and with less effort. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Just remember, it's not important to me like how you make a living, how you make your money and stuff like that. It's just important to me that you have a life, right? That's what you do with it. So reach out to me. I'm always here to help. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Good evening, millionaires. I'm Amma the CPA.